Hello everybody and welcome to the wild and wonderful world of programming. We will try to do our first program today. And the objective is to write a simple program, and then as happens many times you end up having to rewrite it. We'll rewrite it using something called a control structure. This is a code along. I invite you to follow along an M-block with me as I do this. And this is an introduction to M-block in the sense we'll be dealing with devices, sprites, and sounds. Okay, the goal is write and revise. We'll break that into two parts. You'll actually end up with two parts. Two programs you'll turn in. Write a simple program, then you'll rewrite it using a control structure. Okay, this is our first program, and I am going to switch out here so that we can look at it in block. Okay, here we are in M-block, and when you first open it, it usually looks something like this. You should have the M-bot selected. If you don't, need to go back to the install and look at that again, or ask me in class. Okay, and we will be dealing with the sprite, and so we can see them, we'll click over here. We have the view right here. Now click into the next one over and make it bigger, because everything is better when it's bigger. Okay, we're going back to sound. You know, meow and pandas are fun, but we can do other things with it. And one of the things we could do with it is we could have him act like a little kid. He's cute like a little kid. And I could just imagine him in the back seat of a car when you're going somewhere. And you know what they say? They say, "Are we there yet?" Which is why I named this presentation this. So we'll have, first we need to get him to say it once. Okay, we don't want to meow. We want to record. Okay, and here I go. Are we there yet? Okay, let's save that. Okay, now I don't want to record no 428, etc. and so on. Let's call it "Are we there yet?" Notice that I'm running everything together and I'm using capitals to select them to separate the words. Also notice I'm not using a question mark, because question mark is not a good thing for a file, and this is essentially a file. Okay, and I click off of it, it selects it. Let's play it.
Are we there yet?
Okay. Alright, so we change the sound to "Are we there yet?"
Are we there yet?
Okay, but as you know, kids never say that just once, they say that several times. So,
are we there yet?
Oh, wait a minute, it only said it one time. What's up with that? Okay, what happens is, you notice this says start sound. You also have a sound that says play sound until done. And what happens is these two basically happened at the same time. I'm going to jump ahead and put a wait in here.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Okay, what happened was both of them executed at the same time because there's no delay in them. Now, I'm not going to do a delay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other form. And this is something that you'll deal with as you work through this, is there's two commands that are very, very similar, and you need to understand how they're different to know when to use them. Okay? Are we there yet? Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Alright, let's see how we're doing so far.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Okay, we're going to do it a few more times. Really make it annoying. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Let's do it. Let's go for 10 times. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, And this is basically the first program. And what we've done is recorded the custom sound, and we're now playing it. Now it comes time to turn it in. And to turn it in, you will need to save it as a file and save to your computer. Don't just hit save because it wants you to do them online. And I will call it R. Okay, and I'm going to call this assignment 1A MJONEIL. And I'm going to call it part 1 because we'll have 2 parts. Okay, and we'll save it. And then we'll shift over to how we want to turn it in. Hello, need to take a quick detour before we turn in the first program. We really need to turn in both programs at the same time. So just a review, we recorded the sound, we got it word repeated, we talked about the difference between the simple play sound and play sound for a certain time, and we will save it out as assignment 1A MJ O'Neill part 1. Okay, the next thing we will do is suppose, as you well know, when a child is in the back seat saying, "Are we there yet?" they don't just say it in monotone, they keep on getting shriller, which is louder and higher. And we'll show how that happens. We also talk about maintainable code because it seems like you just get a code work and then the user wants you to do something else with it. As it turns out, 80% of code maintenance is in the maintenance phase. Only 20% represents the initial effort. So we'll switch over to MBlock and we will cover this, and then we'll see how things go. Okay, we're back in MBot, and here's our program. And the first thing I want to do before I forget, so I don't overwrite the other program with it, is change the name. So I go File, Save to your computer. I'll say Assignment 1A. This time I just want to say 2 because there's 2 parts. You'll have 2 program files you will turn in. Okay, that way if I forget, if I forget and I close out on it, I haven't overwritten the first part. Okay, to make the sound shriller, we need to change the pitch higher. We need to change the volume higher. And if we play this,
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Okay, and you notice it did it one time, but I would have to copy this after each one of these, and I'm not going to do that because there's an easier way to do it. And to find out how to do that, we will switch over to the PowerPoint and we will talk about control structures. Okay, quick little dive into PowerPoint land. Tell you what I'm talking about when I talk about a program control structure. Normally a program starts from the top to bottom, one step at a time, and it doesn't quit till it's done. A decision structure or an iteration structure, which are the 2 types of control structures, alter that. You've seen these, you just didn't know what they were. When your program offers to save before you close out, that is a decision structure, and that's called an if-then statement. Now, if you have to print 20 copies because you got 20 people working with you on something, you'd use an iteration structure to do it over and over again, which is one of the things computers do well, is they do things over and over again without getting tired or bored or distracted. Okay, now there's a particular type of iteration structure to basically do 4. And for MBlock, you see it up here. This is basically play this note for 7 times. Now, it turns out the idea of doing things for a certain amount of times is nothing new. There's a example back in the Bible. Elisha told the general to go wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh will be restored, and you shall be clean. And I kind of have in here where I'm trying to imitate something like that in Python and in Alice. When you see an M block, because M block, the robot doesn't have any hands, so he can't wash his hands. He can't wash. Anyway, this is the basic theory behind a do for count, and we'll take a look at how that works in the robot. I mean, in the sprite. Okay, so let's see if we can get loopy. Okay, in order to be shrill, we want to play it higher and we want to play it faster. Okay, so we will change pitch effect by 10 and we will change volume. Now it says minus 10. We don't want that because we're not going to get soft.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Okay, you notice it's going off while I am trying to play it, and that's a little annoying. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay. All right, so here we go.
Are we there yet? 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 Are we there yet?
Okay, that's enough of that. All right, I'm going to clear sound effects so it goes back to its normal volume, and we will use a loop instead of using 10 times 3 blocks or 30 blocks. Okay, it's a control structure. You find it in control, and it's right here. You repeat 10. You put it in there, and we start it.
Are we there yet? 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 Are we there yet?
Okay, and I don't want it to accidentally, when I'm moving around, I don't want it to accidentally start executing the program. So I'm going to add an event to this. And the event is when the green flag is clicked. The green flag is over here, right next to the stop button. Now what happens now?
Are we there yet?
Okay.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
It's still doing it. All right. That didn't work the way I expected it to do. This is not a bad practice anyway. But you will need this when you do the robot because you'll need something when the MBot starts up. And if you don't do that, it won't work. Okay, so the other thing I'll need to do is you notice it's already all wound up and I want to clear the sound effects. So I'll do that. Now if we play it.
Are we there yet? 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 Are we there yet?
Okay, so our program is now complete and then we want to save it. Go File, Save to your computer. And I want Assignment 1A, MJ O'Neill. I'm going to go ahead and put a capital there so we can see. Okay, part 2 because the first one is part 1. Okay, it's already there because I've been practicing before. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, so we now have our 2 program files. We are now ready to turn them in. Okay, here we are in Blackboard. I've gotten to 1.3. By the way, the 3rd folder is generally to do this week. And we're looking at Assignment 1A. And you notice I have 3 attempts left. And that's pretty standard. What happens, you fix the problems and you tell me what you fixed. I look at it and I boost your grade accordingly. Okay, so I'll start attempt number 1. Okay, just so we can make it clearer. Let's see, attachment. There we go. Let's see where we put it. Okay, by the way, I had these before. Please ignore those. Those are the incorrect parts. Okay. Will it let me double count it? It will. Okay, and that's what I have, is I now have the code turned in. Now the other thing you need to do is demonstrate it. Now if you are an in-person student, you need to demonstrate in person. If you're an online student, you need to demonstrate online. And for online students, I have the requirements posted for your video link, and your instructor will go through those with you. And any of yours, it's up to your instructor exactly how they want to do the demonstrations. Okay, so I'm ready to submit. Let's see, it says Assignment 1A, MJ O'Neill. Probably should have capitalized MJ, but that's okay. I got part 1 and part 2 because there's 2 of them. A lot of times you'll just have one program. When you have 2 of them, you need to tell me which one's which. Alright, submit assignment. And I submitted. I've got my little receipt. I'm going to download that because I don't trust computers because I work on them. Okay, so I have completed the assignment 1A. Hope this helps, and I will keep the questions coming.